Alright, good evening guys. Welcome to today's market debrief. We will start off with the US market. Okay, we will look at this Federal Reserve System. Okay, we can from here we can see that the Fed has continuously printing its so-called bond buying, bond purchasing in the open market. Okay, so you can see here that their balance sheet has been increasing. Okay, so it's now is in an all-time high. Right, this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the result of their so-called Federal Reserve unlimited printing policy that they had during the Trump's time. So I'm not too sure whether Biden is going to reverse that, but judging by how the S&P 500 is moving, right, most likely they're expecting more stimulus to happen for the market. Okay, so this one, the S&P 500 index has been is positive last night. Okay, it's testing this is all time high. So likelihood is there is the chances of it to break on the upside. Okay, so this is the futures. So it's right now still indecisive, waiting for the market opening. Dow Jones similarly is already made an all-time high. The U.S. market overall is very strong. Okay, with the tech stocks lagging. I mean, as I've mentioned in some of the past videos, right, the tech sector is going to slow down. It has slowed down, so therefore the rest of the market is picking up because there are so basically the news on COVID-19 vaccine is triggering a lot of people the expectation that the economy is going to recover. So therefore there are a lot of buying happening, especially around the world. Okay, you can look at the DAX, is trying to recover. We have the UK, recovering, and this is despite COVID numbers are increasing around the world, despite some of the European cities doing some shutdown, lockdown. Okay, so now this is what is happening. So because of all this good news, the gold has broken this support. Okay, this intermediate support, which I've mentioned in somewhere around here this video that this support is likely going to break and retest this area here, this line, so-called its previous all-time high. Okay, it's previous all-time high or somewhere here. So that's a strong support area. Okay, so it's likely going to test here for some time, trade around this within this band. So what we have also for commodities, the crude oil has broke off its resistance yesterday. Okay, so what we have here is a nice pattern. So likely we will start to see a short-term rally. There are also bound to be resistance ahead. Okay, like somewhere around here. Okay, so therefore in this, right, we can see that a lot of the oil and gas sector, like your Sembcorp Marine, starting to do some little rebound, or Capcorp, Rex International, all these small cap companies also during the oil and gas is moving. For our Asia market, you can see that the Nikkei had basically after this I mentioned that it's going to retrace and then it gave up, I think because of the most of the good news, and then thereafter today shows signs of bigger signs of a retracement or pullback. Okay, so this is what we're going to expect for the next few days. Most likely it's going to pull back on the downside. Okay, the Hang Seng, similarly I've mentioned that this is the so-called resistance area, the resistance band, and then today it gap up, went up and then closed poor. A lot of selling that started to come in. Okay, so I've mentioned this in the last week video. We are approaching an area whereby the sellers are more willing to come into the market. Okay, so this is starting to happen this week. And similarly for China, so-called this resistance band have kind of like squeezed a little. Okay, so it has come down to this area. So this is like a bigger resistance area, and today there's a sell down also. So in tandem with most of the major indices around the world. So with Asia market trading this way, there's also a possibility that US might follow suit, tonight. Okay, so what we have for our Singapore market is that there is a big sell-off today, or basically a huge amount of trading had happened today. Okay, so mainly a lot of the banks, some of tech stocks, and some of the big cap stocks have a lot of selling happen. So therefore this, so we should be expecting some pullbacks, over the next 1 week. In Singapore, what we have is okay, mainly is the three banks. Okay, first we go with the strongest one, DBS Bank. I've drawn this to show like a channel. Okay, likely where are the resistance points. So this is the previous time they broke this. It broke this resistance, and burst off, and then now it tested over this in this channel, upper channel line. Okay, so similarly, it has a very high volume selling at this area. So very likely that we are going to see some sell down happening. Okay, OCBC Bank similarly had a big sell down. Similarly also similar pattern with DBS. Okay, and then similarly we have to expect more selling to happen over the next 1 week. UOB Bank is I would say the weaker among the three banks, the weakest among the three. Had a much bigger range selling, okay, and it did not even test so-called the same similar pattern as compared to DBS and OCBC. Okay, so I was deem it as weaker among the three. So if I've shown that if we were to look at the projection, right, in this range, in this rebound, there are a few possibilities that it can do. Firstly, is mainly a 50% or 38.2% retracement, which is about 965, or 50% retracement at about 940. Worst come to worst, it will be back down here. Okay, maybe trade along this trend line, this trend channel at $8.60. Okay, so there are these three possible region range where like for OCBC, right, it's likely to retrace back. Okay, so probably for me, I will take a look more likely on this 940 area. Okay, so we'll see how this will turn out over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Thai beverage. Okay, last week I mentioned that with the news of KTV's Thai discos of opening up end of the year, there are a lot of, this is one stock that is going to benefit from it, but then this is the major resistance, and also all the sellers starts to come in. Okay, so therefore this might likely also similarly retrace, do some consolidation around this area. Okay, so but overall you can see that all these big cap stocks have already moved above the 200-day moving average, and then what we want to see, right, is that they can continuously trade above the 200-day moving average. Okay, so as for Singtel, I would say that this is a big rebound. Rebound why is because I'm thinking that it's likely more downside to happen. Okay, if we look at this so-called like a down move. Okay, this is a 50% rebound. Sorry, 68.2% rebound based on the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so and here we start to see selling happening today in conjunction and meeting the 200-day moving average. Okay, so we have to see how this one will turns out. Okay, so if you were to trade into this, right, you have to start to take profit, especially for short-term traders. Long-term investors will be a different ball game. So I'm talking about taking profit, right, is mainly for the short-term traders. All right. And previously I've mentioned about the ST Engineering. Similarly, I've talked about this for a few weeks already. Since over here, it has done a nice cup and handle pattern, break off, pull back, test the support turn resistance. Sorry, resistance turn support, and then thereafter it rallied back. Okay, so now similarly it has the same pattern. So it's a broad market kind of selling happening, or say profit taking. Similarly for SIA Engineering, with so-called air travel bubble happening but then gonna burst or postpone. So similarly this SIA Engineering also have a retracement. Okay, and same for SATS. Okay, so this this is likely to have a deeper kind of pullback. Okay, so I've recommended sets for I think more than 2 weeks already, since it started here, instead of going for SIA. Okay, so but SIA right now we had some movement for the past 2 days. Okay, there's a break off yesterday, and then there's a follow through yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday. Today. Okay, but with lots of selling happening, in conjunction with the whole market. So if you want to look at SIA, I mean, breaking off from this downtrend channel is a good sign. So what we wanted to see is that if this can consolidate or retrace back down to this, retest the area here about 420, and then we see how it goes from there. We reassess. The property market has a big move. Okay, this is Capital Land. Okay, I would say this is quite a nice move. Alright, so with this, similarly, just shy of this. Okay, so which I'm not that happy about. If you have tested this and sell down, right, it will be a good sign. But this a bit shy off. Nonetheless, we just have to see how this one will turn out over the next so-called 1 to 2 weeks. So similarly for CTDEF, okay, this rebound, move up and come down. So all have the same kind of movement. Okay, so these are mainly the big cap stocks. We go on to the smaller ones. Some stocks that I've mentioned for some time. Hype. Okay, I've talked about Apple. I've talked about iPhone 12. That this iPhone 12 is in demand. Okay, even the CEO, when he announced the Apple results, he says the demand for iPhone 12 is very strong. Okay, so therefore I mentioned about Hype being this this sell down, right, when the whole market is down, right. I would mention that this is actually have a very shallow retracement. It's strong. When it starts to move, you should start to get into this. Okay, so thereafter now is very likely is going to retrace back. Okay, 3 big rally is usually what it do. Like this one, 3 big rally. Look at the history, 3 big rally. Okay, this is like 1, 2, or a few big rallies. So you look at this, is a 3 big rallies is going to consolidate back down again. Okay, so short-term traders, you can take a profit. You come back down. If it supports, you can look to go in again. Okay, I'm thinking this is likely to head all the way to till Christmas. People start to buy gift for their wife, daughter, mistress, girlfriends. Okay, so that will be its previous high. Okay, done back in February 19. In the REIT space, okay, we have the Capital Retail China. Okay, we have known that they have already expanded their investment philosophy, investment mandate. Where they can invest in all sorts of real estates. Commercial, industrials, not just in retail more. So despite the rights issue, there's XD yesterday, share price still continue to go up. Okay, so those who told me that you want to wait until XD, wait the price goes down and buy, I think you kind of like missed a chance. Okay, so I mean, the other chance is you receive your letter, your rights issue, and then you apply for access. Then you can get more shares at the issue price at 117. Okay, over here. Okay, so we want to see if it can really break off this resistance 131. Okay, and then continue its upward move. There are some like Depot Mall had a move today after being down for a long time. Okay, been consolidating for some time, and today there is a big move, high volume. Okay, so most likely this is like a start. Some rich guy, or some backer or sponsor buy shares in this company. You'll be the start of the accumulation phase. Okay, so most likely it's going to trade sideways or retest the 200-day moving average. Okay, so it has this range. All right, so you can if you like lipo more, okay, Indonesia property. Oceanus I've mentioned for 3 weeks. Okay, so currently it has started its pullback, okay, which is a good sign. Okay, so this whole rally is good. I would say it's sustainable. Now we will wait for this pullback. Somewhere around this area you should be looking at. Let's go at the hourly chart. Okay, so these are the areas that you should be watching out for, like 1.8 cents and 2.1 cents. All right. Okay, so these are the areas you should be looking at to accumulate. If you want to. I think there are some stories behind it. I'm not too sure. Something like aqua or some agricultural thing that agricultural farming or indoor farming that they are selling over to the China. Okay, so this is might be a possible story. Okay, sorry. So instead of just that, we look at the possible retracement. Okay, 50 cents area is at the 2 cents, and then 618 about 1.7 cents. All right, so there about. So we just wait for a few more days. We see how this one will turns out. So as for the industrial REITs, I've mentioned before last week or even for a few weeks, the industrial REITs are the ones that is going to be so-called weaker. Okay, so Ascenders REIT, I mean, most of the stocks have rallied, but this one didn't rally. Okay, and started to, it may start to trend down or so-called drift down. Mapletree Industry, similarly, after this rebound, now it start to sell down. Okay, in tandem with the whole market. Mapletree Lock, similarly, is being helped by this 200-day moving average. Okay, so but this is weak, so there's a high chance that it might break down this 192. Okay, so the one more. Okay, Capital DC rate, there's a nice rebound and then retest this so-called support turn resistance. Okay, so we have this resistance here and then it starts to have a sell down now. Okay, so we would like to see this one coming down. If it trades below around this area or below 200-day moving average, then we reassess again. Okay, so the whole industrial area REITs are weak at the moment. Okay, and then in summary, the whole market is right now going into a consolidation or a pullback phase, for the next 1 to 2 weeks. So we just be mindful of our position. If you're a short-term trader, you should take some profit, half profit at least. Okay, if you're a mid-term trader, you can take like 1/3 profit. If you're a long-term trader or long-term investors, you can still hold your position. We see how the whole market reacts or turns out in the next 1 to 2 days. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Any stocks you want me to look at? I think right now.
Silver Lake will go up.
Oh, Silver Lake. Okay, Silver Lake Axis. Okay, because they have recently launched a few products. I think one in May. Sorry, I think one in July. Then there's this rally. Okay, and then I think recently I think they launched another product or something. Okay, in Malaysia, some Takafu investment kind of stuff. Okay, so I mean, new product launch, we don't know how well the market is going to take it, how good. No, it will tend to take some time for market to accept it, and then it starts to reflect in its revenue. So usually this will take about like what, 3 months, 6 months kind of thing. So this is the first initial phase for their first product launch, and then now it's consolidating. Mainly because the earnings did not really reflect um, the kind of expectation for the new product. So we would like to see if the next earnings, which will come in like February. Okay, so this I would say is still positive, mainly because the low here is a higher low than the low here. Okay, so this is a good sign, higher high compared to this high. We have this high compared to this high, higher high. We have a low, and now we have a higher low. Okay, so the main thing is to not break this 25 cents. Okay, and then we can just hold on. Likely, if we have to see how this one will hold, as the market sell down. Okay, as the market sell down, does this hold or trade sideways? If it does, then it's a strong sign. Okay, as the market rebound, it will start to move up.
Okay, thank you.
Valuetronics. Valuetronics, I think there is a sell down today. Yeah, similarly, same. Okay, so the good thing is it's slowly trending up. Okay, but it's still fixed in a very big consolidation area. Okay, so I would say this is the main consolidation band, 55 cents and 63 cents. Okay, so most likely it's going to trade within this range for some time until you can break off the 63 cents, right? Then you will start a new trend. Okay, so as of this moment, I would say you'll still be sluggish movement, in this area, 55 to 63. Some of the medical stocks are not doing well. Okay, this is medtech. Okay, after breaking down this support, okay, had a rebound, retest, and then gap down. Okay, so I don't think this will bode well. But considering that COVID numbers are rising, okay, so we'll see how. Then on top of that, I think Top Glove had they were, I think, forced to shut down their factories in Malaysia in phases due to COVID-19. Okay, so I think this might benefit the other companies, MedTech, Riverstone, but I don't think it will be that much. So I drew this line. Okay, mainly is because from this rally, this drop. Okay, rebound and this drop. So I'm looking at likely 61 cents. So I would like to see whether if it reach 65 cents, right, will there be opportunity to trade rebound?